Pat. It's Pat on brands. Watch how you branded, man. A pat on the back is a pat from the man. Better be branded, man. Pat from the pat is a pat on the brand. If it's enormous.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the OP, the Outside Podcast of the Pat on Brands podcast. And today we're coming to you live from the biggest marketing conference in the continent. That is the NetBank IMC. And we have our first guest. He flew from the UK to the Pat on Brands podcast, especially for this podcast.
Exactly.
How's it, Charl?
For the OP with the OG.
Yeah. Love it.
Nice to meet you, Pat.
Nice to meet you too. Let's get straight into it. I mean, you literally sort of opened up the IMC this year, and really you spoke about how the world is changing at a fast pace and how you are sitting sort of in the marketing helm of a very complicated brand.
Yeah.
I want you to double click on that.
Sure.
Tell us a bit about BBC and what's happening in that space and why you say it's a complicated brand.
Sure. So I've been the chief brand officer at the BBC for the last 18 months.
Sure.
But I mean, 22 years before that in the alcohol business.
Uh-huh.
So on Absolute, I was the CMO in Stockholm for about 5 years. And before that, in South Africa with Pernod Ricard, South African breweries. Mm-hmm. So that world of kind of individual brands of Castle Lager, Jameson, Absolute, they're singular brands. You come to the BBC, the complexity sits in the number of products that you have on offer within a portfolio. And if you think of the BBC, it's a combination of Netflix, entertainment, Spotify, sound and music, CNN, BBC News, Disney Junior, our BBC Bite Size and CBBS, and then even weather, BBC Sport, ESPN. So you take all of that. It's the sum total of all of these services brought together under one brand, and then ensuring that one brand is understood by its audience in the UK, but also now globally. The other part of the complexity is the fact that it's a category that's been disrupted. So you've got the big tech players, you've got Amazon Prime, you've got Apple TV, but you've obviously got Netflix and Spotify that I mentioned. And you've got this user-generated content coming through in YouTube. And, these are all viable, really good sources of content. So how do you ensure that you remain relevant for this generation as a public service brand, but also as a brand? And the complexity in that is ensuring that there's innovation around your product. So we're shifting very fast into digital streaming globally. I mean, we were there already, but we're ensuring that the product delivers around expectations. You know about personalization and algorithms in those other organizations. We have to balance the personalization algorithm with the public good service that we provide. So it's not just about giving new pats.
And also the commercial aspect of it.
So that's the interesting thing, is that we're not a commercial organization. We're funded by a license fee.
Interesting.
And
so people in the UK pay license fee.
They pay a license fee, exactly. They pay the license fee. We don't have commercials. We don't have advertising. There's no lobby groups. So there's no political or commercial agenda. And sort of making sure that you remain independent, that you're serving public good, driving relevance so that people pay their license fee, becomes the complexity of the brand.
Got you. I find it interesting that you say you guys are completely funded by license fees and there's zero advertising, zero external sort of influence from a content perspective.
The only caveat is we have something called BBC Studios, which is a commercial wing. We have a production company there that makes films and television programs and we sell that content to distributors around the world. Part of that money then comes back into the public service. And I mean, Charl, we're living in a very volatile time. I mean, as you speak right now, you have a visitor back home. A very special, very loud visitor.
And what we knew as the truth, it's now shaky. So how do you as a brand, that disseminate information, make sure that, you're on the right side of...
it's such a good question, actually. And I think, for the BBC, it's all about what is driving your organization. It's not money, it's relevance. It's not It's not trying to pander to populism. It's trying to offer very much rooted in the core of the principles of the organization from its inception in 1922. To try and offer multiple perspectives so that you become a voice of an entire nation, not one group or another group. So that complexity that I spoke about early on from a brand perspective, we've tried to distill it into 3 pillars or the 3 roles of the BBC. Now, the first role, and this is coming back to your point, is to pursue truth with no agenda. No political or commercial agenda. Not always easy. Lots of mistakes made.
I can imagine.
Lots of mistakes made, but that's the guiding force. The second pillar or second role is being a platform for homegrown storytelling and creativity. So backing homegrown talent, homegrown creativity. We're not looking beyond that homegrown responsibility. We're saying, let's give the best stories from Britain and let's bring that to the world. And then the third pillar, the third role of the BBC is to bring people together. Around key moments, coronation, big football matches, but even the elections, but also people in communities. You know, like as a South African, you think that other places have a different challenge, different problems. That the same issues pop up. You know, how do you create community? How do you bring people together with different points of view? How do you ensure that perspectives are shown? So if you've got those 3 roles, which we now do, which take that complexity and make it simple, those 3 roles become the yardstick that we measure everything that we do against. So, of course, there's going to be mistakes made. People make mistakes. And in the UK, the press loves to have a go at the BBC because it represents everything that they're not about, which is there's no political or commercial agenda. And, you know, I understand that. And everyone has a right to speak and everyone has a right to share their opinion. But the institution is driven by sharing facts, multiple perspectives, both sides of the story, which is going to upset somebody.
Of course.
I share both sides of the story. Somebody's going to get upset. And I'm seeing that in practice with real human beings trying very hard to do the right thing.
Sure. It must be a tough job for you having.
Yeah, tough is an interesting thing. You know, it is a tough job, but it's also a privilege to be at the center of driving culture.
Got you.
Like if you really believe that you want to make a positive impact, which I do, and I really believe that the lessons I've learned in South Africa around building culture for the future, this is an amazing platform to do that.
Got you.
So none of the stuff that really matters, the stuff that really has impact is going to be easy. Do you know what I mean? Like Rassie Erasmus was given the job with the Springboks. I don't think it was an easy job back then.
Not at all.
It's still not an easy job, but he's doing an incredible job of building culture for our country.
Got you.
You know, you mentioned about me going back home. I feel like I'm back home now, by the way. It's so funny, you know. But so I really think it's like tough jobs are a privilege if they have meaning behind them.
Got you. I mean, the title of your talk or your presentation was reimagining iconic brands from South Africa to the world. And I think, I mean, September is Heritage Month in South Africa, as you may know. Are there any favorite heritage brands that have...
I mean, so one of the brands that I worked on in my career was Castle Lager.
Got you.
It was one of the brands that I spoke about, you know, briefly on stage. And for me, of course, it's one of my firm favorites. It goes with the braai on the 24th of September. We took a brand that was in decline for 11 years and turned that brand around by really focusing on South African heritage and this idea that we're all super fans of the different sports. Back in, this was in 2010, when you had rugby supporters, cricket supporters, and soccer supporters. Our mission then was we're actually all supporters of South African teams. And that at the core of it all comes together with the castle. So it sits very strongly with me. Another favorite.
That's a classic. I would say it all comes together with the castle.
It all comes together with the castle.
Come up with that.
You know, there's always a few people involved. I can't take credit for that. But I can take credit for taking that idea and bringing it to life with the team. It was an amazing moment. The World Cup, this return to kind of the heritage of Castle Lager, and then rallying an organization around that idea. It gives a lot of hope, a lot of energy when you can rally an organization around a brand. And so that iconic brand for me stands out.
Indeed. You said you have another one?
I have another one, but it's actually it's because it's my home away from home when I'm living in the UK, which is Nando's. And it's interesting because it's Portuguese, South African, it's got a mix of the cultures, but it resonates with me because we are a culture of a lot of different cultures. We're a culture that brings a lot in. and adopts it and makes it even better. We took peri peri from Mozambique, and we took Portuguese chicken, and we made it South African Nando's. So when I'm sitting in a cold, miserable winter in London, my happy place is to walk into a Nando's and to feel the sort of the warmth of the place, to listen to sort of African music on the speakers, to look at African art on the walls, and it's that colourful vibrancy of the brand, and its wit and its cheekiness that makes me feel at home.
Fantastic. I mean, also one of the things you spoke about on stage was just around, rising above the noise. And I think perhaps as a closing to our conversation, what advice do you have for marketers? Given the times that you find ourselves in, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot that's being said. How do you distill, what to consume and what not to consume, or what to take seriously and what not to take seriously?
I mean, that's a difficult question to answer because it is a process that you have to go through. I think the rising above the noise, why I use that line often for my teams when I'm on stage in this conversation is that, as you said, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise that tries to detract from our togetherness. There's a lot of noise that tries to make one camp more important than another camp in order for people to get power. And it's even more fundamental than sort of building brands. It's quite fundamental to we as a society. It's fine to hear the noise because it's there. It's fine to listen, and we should listen to multiple voices. One of those principles of pursuing truth. You have to listen to different perspectives. But I think there's something around kind of knowing and I spoke about this on stage as well, to know your own personal true north. What is the thing that really matters? For me, this idea of belonging and bringing people together really matters to me. So it helps to shake out some of the noise around they're better than them, they hate them. Actually, that's all BS. It's all people trying to use division to drive power. As a brand person, as a brand custodian, it's the same thing. You're going to listen to a lot of hype. Listen to it, hear it out, and then distill what really, really matters for the deep connection that you have between your brand and your consumer. What really matters? What is fundamental to that relationship? And then really focus on that true north. So it's a combination of listen with empathy, listen to multiple perspectives, and then use your true north to guide kind of what you want to take out of that, to drive the decisions you're making about yourself, but also fundamentally to this conversation, the decisions you're making about your brand and how you want to connect with your consumer.
Awesome stuff. Last question.
Sure.
I mean, our audience are mainly young professionals and entrepreneurs in the marketing space, Any advice for a young entrepreneur or young marketer, that just stepped into the space? What is it that they need to pay attention to?
Sure. I mean, it's interesting when you say, give advice to young people. I still feel like I'm a young person. I'm still learning.
With grey hair.
But I'm not that young. But the point is I think stay curious is a very important one. There's three things that I left the audience with today, and I'll leave this I think leave your listeners with the same three things, which is, one is be brave. And I know you might hear this in other contexts. What I mean by being brave is be brave to your own truth. Be brave to know what it is that you want to put on the table. Be brave with that. Be brave to call the bullshit. Be brave to sort of confront the things that are not right. Know your own reality. Be brave enough to confront that in your own life, in your business, and in the context of your relationship with consumers or audiences. But be brave. That means being honest. Be kind is the second thing that I've said. And being kind, I think, is actually more fundamental than anything in the world right now. In a world of division, algorithms, polarization, being kind and fundamentally being kind to your consumer, to your customer, to your clients. Understand, what are they going through? They're humans. Data is really important, but the data comes from somebody. The data is related to a human being who's got a challenge that you're trying to solve. That's what business is, right? You're solving a problem for your audience, for your consumer. So understand them. Be kind to them. Be kind to your stakeholders, to your partners. Everyone's is struggling, is being challenged. And ultimately be kind to yourself. Because you're at a point in time, it might be tough now, it's going to get better, or it might be good now, it's going to get tough. That's just the cycle of life. Be kind.
Indeed.
Go through it. And then the last thing I really want to bring attention to, and and call out, it's as fundamental for me right now, is believe. So, believe in what it is that you have to offer.
Yeah.
Believe in the magic of South Africa. There is something magical about what we have that we can take to the world.
Yeah.
But most importantly, believe in the opportunity that you have, Pat, in this forum, that many people have with the platforms that they have, to really shape culture. Like, our job is not just to borrow from culture and expropriate it and use it to make money.
Yeah.
Our job is also to really shape culture positively. So I'm trying to use the platforms to do that.
Yeah.
The BBC is an incredible platform and an opportunity to do that. Rassie used the Springboks to do that. Whatever platform you might have, believe that the future can be bright through your actions and through the positive impact you can have on culture.
Sure. Interesting you say that, and I really like the last point. It's just around believing in ourselves, because oftentimes, I mean, you live in the UK, for example, we always look outward, in terms of saying, oh, things are better elsewhere than here at home, or they are ahead of us, therefore we can't contribute anything to the global.
It's a big thing for us as South Africans, by the way. We're exceptional. And I'm not saying that because I'm from South Africa and I am South African, but that insecurity is something I feel regularly. So I'm sitting at the board table with the BBC or Absolute or whoever, and I'm going, I'm just a kid from Klerksdorp.
Sure.
Like, what am I going to contribute? And the truth is, when you take your learnings, when you take your beliefs, and you put that backed by data, backed by rigor, people want that.
Yeah.
If you can take that humanity that we have, that's very real in South Africa, and back it with the data, back it with the insights, there's so much that we can bring to the table. People listen. People want to hear this stuff. But it's so true. We sometimes underestimate the power we have as South Africans. We underestimate how far we are in terms of our society, the innovation that we have, the brands that we built. I think just don't underestimate yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in this country. Believe in the magic that we have to offer. I keep coming back to that magic, because it was said to me actually by the CEO of Absolute Vodka when she invited me to come to Stockholm. She said, I really want you to bring the magic of Africa to the world.
Wow.
I mean, what a privilege to hear that.
Sure.
What a privilege to go and do that. And I just encourage everybody listening to this.
Yeah.
We've got something magical.
Amazing.
That the world can benefit from. Yeah.
Charl, on that note, I believe.
Good man.
Thank you so much for making the time for us.
Thank you.
I wish we had more, but as you know, we have to do other interviews as well.
All good, man.
It's a busy day today.
Great, thank you.
I really appreciate you making a stop on the Pat and Brands podcast.
Lovely to be with you.
Thanks, you.
Pat.
Cheers.
Pat. It's Pat on Brands. Watch how you branded, man. A pat on the back is a pat from the man. Better be branded, man. A pat from the pat is a pat on the brand. If it's enormous.